Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel Destiny Moon Tarot and welcome to today's pick a card reading. In today's reading, I'm going to be finding out what kind of spouse your spouse wants to be. Okay, so this is going to be a fun reading. It's going to be a very relaxed reading. I want you all to have fun, and if this helps with your manifestation techniques, then let it help you with that. Take from it what will help and leave what doesn't. um, and yeah, this is just supposed to be a fun light reading in the Future Spouse series. I hope you enjoy it, and let me introduce you to today's groups for you to choose from. So for group number one, we have the card Relaxation. This is your option up close. Group number two, your option is mindfulness. And group number three, your option is whimsy. Okay, so you can take as much time as you would want to pick either one or multiple of these groups intuitively. And once you have made your decision, you can find the timestamps that correlate to your group's reading in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments. And I shall see you all in your reading. Let's begin with group number one. Hi, Group One. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose this relaxation card right here. So let's begin with your reading and find out what kind of spouse your future spouse would like to be and what do they want to be like in this connection. So, with this relaxation card, something that I can see is that they definitely want this connection to be one where they can be relaxed, where there's no drama. They just want you to also feel very safe and secure and relaxed. They want to help give you and provide for you as much as they possibly can so that you can live a very relaxed, drama free life. Because I feel like they realize that the quality of your life is going to also depend on um, how they react to you or how they treat you, basically. So yeah, they just want you to have a very relaxed relationship, okay, where there's no drama. There is a lot of just chilling and going with the flow, and there's a lot of rest and safety, and there's also just maybe borderline boredom because of the lack of drama, right? So that is the kind of lifestyle that they would like to provide for you. That is the kind of energy that they would like to bring into the relationship. Your future spouse is probably the kind of person who doesn't like going out much. Like, their idea of a night out is a night in. So yeah, maybe they don't have too many friends. They prefer quality over quantity. So they have a few friends who they like to hang out with, but they're not the kind of person who would want to step out every single day or even every other weekend. I think this is someone who would much rather stay at home and, be cozy at home and like cuddle with you, or just like stay at home and watch a movie, maybe order something from outside to eat. But yeah, mostly stay at home where they're comfortable, where they are relaxed, where they don't feel like they have to pretend or show off or just show up as their best self, quote unquote, right? I feel like this person just likes to relax and just likes to be comfortable and doesn't like being judged, doesn't like going out to places where they have to put up with pretenses a bit. Yeah, they don't enjoy doing that. So I feel like they want to be in a relationship where you also feel very safe and relaxed in their company. You don't feel judged. You feel very comforted. You feel very loved. Okay. This is the kind of person who's very affectionate. So I do feel like they like giving hugs. They like cuddling. love language could be physical touch. Okay, so that's either how they express their love to you, or that is how they like to be loved. Um, so that's what I'm picking up here with relaxation. But yeah, something that I'm definitely seeing here is that the type of husband or wife that they want to be is a very relaxed one. They don't want to be overworked, they don't want to be overburdened, they don't want to come home in a bad mood and ruin everybody else's mood at home as well. They just want there to be peace and relaxation and safety and security in your relationship, right? So that's the kind of spouse that they would like to be, so they can show up in that energy. Let's get your tarot cards now and get some more information about what kind of spouse your future spouse would like to be. So we have the Two of Cups, all right. We have the Chariot, as well as the Hierophant. Ooh, okay. Bottom deck energy is the Knight of Pentacles. I do have a feeling that this person is maybe a bit older than you, okay, or maybe they're just at a stage in life where they are not really into clubbing or drinking, or they don't have those kind of vices. Maybe they did in their life early on, but they have evolved from that, they have grown from that. That's not something that they want from life anymore. That's not what they want their life and their day to day to look like anymore as well. So I do feel like this is the kind of person who's either older than you, or even if they're your age or even younger than you, I do feel like this is the person who maybe in this stage of their life, like when they are a spouse, in this stage of their life, they're more focused on their resources. They're more focused on the quality of their life, how much money they have. They want to be able to spend quality time with you. Okay, so they would much rather spend that money to go on a staycation rather than go out every weekend to like a really loud club where they probably can't even hear you properly, where they're like probably drunk people all around. Probably at a point, they get to a state where they start misbehaving. Nobody wants to be around that energy, right? And especially not your future spouse. So I do feel like they're over that. They don't really want that in their life anymore. I do feel like this is the kind of person who wants to be able to provide for you and to, provide you safety and security in every sense, whether that's emotionally, whether that's financially, whether that's physically. So they would much rather save money to buy a house, or they would much rather save money to go on a vacation, like I said, right? Instead of going out every other weekend. So, yeah, that is something that I'm picking up on. This is the kind of person who is also wanting to focus on their health, live a good life so they can live a long life with you. They want to live a long life with you. This almost feels like, oh my God, now that we're married, I want both of us to live for as long as we possibly can so that we can spend as much time as we can with each other. So let's take care of our health, let's take care of our general well-being. That is a priority in their life right now. Especially when they are coming into this relationship as a spouse, right? I think they take their vows very seriously, their promises very seriously, they take marriage very seriously. So they do believe that it is work, and that it is like a part of adult life that is meant to be taken seriously. It's not child's play, so you can't behave the way that you used to before, in the sense that you can't be staying out late with friends. You can't be and when I say you, I think they mean for themselves. Like, they believe that once people get married, they should become a little bit more serious in life. They can't just be spending time with their friends and not letting their spouse know where they are or by what time they'll come home. They're not that kind of a person. They are the kind of person who's like, hey, we are a unit together, let's make joint decisions, If I have to step out, I will let you know where I'm going, and I will let you know who I'm going with, by what time I'll be coming back home. I would like you to have that information so that you're not worrying about me, because you're my spouse, right? And I don't want to say this as my way of controlling you, or my way of manipulating you, or my way of being possessive. I just do this out of a state of responsibility and duty towards my spouse, right? So that is the kind of spouse they would like to be. They would like to discuss with you, like, where do you want to go on a vacation next, let's plan it. Or like, oh hey, I just got invited to my friend's wedding next week. Do you want to come with me? Should we go together? Do you have any plans? Stuff like that. Like, they would want to involve you in the decision making process, is what I'm picking up on. With the chariot, I also do feel like this is the kind of person who wants to do right by you, right? They don't want to like, they realize that you are now part of their chariot, you're not you are now part of their journey, you are now part of their life. So they would like to make decisions with you mutually. They see you as a life partner, and they also would like to be seen as a life partner, right? Like, we're ride or die, we're in this together, we'll see the highs and the lows and we'll deal with them together, right? So this is the kind of person who, when they show up with the dedication that, like, hey, when I say through sickness and through health, I will actually be with you through sickness and through health, right? Because I do feel like they see you as a soulmate connection. The Two of Cups to me is the ultimate soulmates card. I've mentioned this multiple times here on my channel, so if this is not the first time you're watching my video, then you know that I feel like Two of Cups is a much more romantic lover soulmate kind of card, even more than the lovers card. So yeah, I do feel like this person definitely believes that you are a soulmate. They definitely believe that, even though you do have differences, your differences are what makes you stronger. You guys together are a unit. You come with your strengths and your weaknesses. You're like yin and yang. Where you lack, they make up for it, and where they lack, you make up for it. And even though there are differences, which I do feel like there are differences here, this could be like inter-religious, inter-caste kind of interracial even couple for some of you. But it does feel like a very fated soulmate connection. Like, you are this person's person. They absolutely, in their heart of heart, believe that you are their person, and they are in this with you for the rest of their life. And that this connection is divinely fated, it's divinely guided, and it's also divinely protected. Okay, that is also something that they believe, which is why they feel like, even though you guys are very different, you guys are soulmates. You're meant to be with each other. They truly, truly love you and respect you. They appreciate you. They appreciate a difference in maybe culture or religion, or perspective that you bring into this relationship. They do see you as an equal, right? And there is a lot of love and admiration and respect that they have for you, which is why they do want to have like a very simple, easy, comfortable, safe and secure life with you. They don't want to risk this connection by making mistakes, or by putting themselves or their relationship at risk by doing very low grade activities, like, I don't know, just like going out too much, or like exposing your relationship to other people too much. They're a very private kind of a person, in the sense that they will want the world to know that you are their partner, and that you guys are together. But they don't want everybody to know every single detail about your relationship, right? So this is the kind of person who probably doesn't want to have a couple's account on Instagram. They don't want to have a public account on Instagram. They don't want to post too much on Instagram. They're the kind of person who believes in, if you're happy and you know it, keep it to yourself and keep your mouth shut. You don't have to tell other people, because evil eye is a real thing. Yeah. And I also do believe that this person, maybe because of their past experiences, or maybe because of what they see online or what they see in the world, I feel like this person thinks that it is very difficult in this day and age to find true love. And now that they have found their person, and now that they have found love, they don't want to lose it. They don't want to do anything to jeopardize it, right? Because they might hear of their colleagues having affairs, or of like people um, getting a divorce because they're not putting in effort and energy into their relationship, and they don't want that to be your reality. They don't want this to be their reality, which is why they're like, you know what, now that I have found my person, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this connection is protected and safe from the world, and safe from like negativity. And it's also something that they would like to cherish. Okay, so they want to cherish you, they want to cherish this relationship and this companionship, this partnership, because they want this to last for a whole lifetime. Okay. That is something that I'm picking up on. So that is the kind of spouse they want to be. They want to be in it for the long run, they want to be in it forever. That is the kind of relationship they want, and which is why that is the kind of spouse they want to be. They want to embrace your differences and your different points of view, and they want to cherish you, and they want to understand your culture and your religion. Maybe they want to understand your experiences. They want to be, they want to come home at the end of the day, sit on the couch, snuggle up with you, and just talk about each other's day. They want to ask how your day was. They want you to care about what their day was like. They want you guys, like, they just want to be in this relationship where you're able to talk to each other, you're each other's best friends and soulmates, and you're in it for the long run. It's both of you against the world. That's what they want. Okay, and that is the kind of spouse they are going to show up as in their life and in this connection, group number one. I hope this reading resonated with you. I hope this was something that you liked hearing. If you would like to claim this energy, please do so in the comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the mindfulness card right here. So let's find out what kind of spouse your future spouse wants to be. Now, something that I'm picking up immediately for you guys from this mindfulness card is that your future spouse is very wise. They're also probably someone who's very spiritual. They definitely have some sort of like a spiritual practice. Maybe they're even religious. Maybe they like to pray, or they like to meditate. They are someone who's very calm, collected. There's a lot of peace on their face, I think. And they also have very kind eyes, is something that I'm picking up on. And I feel like this person, your future spouse, could be someone who's probably older than you. And if they're not older than you, maybe they're just very wise for their age. They are an old soul, maybe. But I do feel like the kind of spouse that they want to be is the kind of spouse who takes their commitment very seriously, who takes their promises very seriously. This is the kind of person who understands that marriage is serious adulting. Okay, so when they get married, they want to get married for all the right reasons. Okay, they want to get married when they're ready, when they have found the right person, when they feel like the time is right for them, when they feel like they have found their person. They don't want to marry because time is running out, or because their biological clock is ticking, or because all of their other friends are getting married. No, they will not marry anyone for the wrong reasons, because they realize how sacred the whole the institution of marriage is. And they want to take their commitment seriously. They understand that marriage is a major commitment and they want to take that commitment very seriously, they want to do things with intention, with purpose, and with alignment to their purpose, right? So yeah, they're very mindful, they're very kind of sorted is the message that's coming through, and that's the word that's coming through, very sorted in their head, like they know exactly what they want. And when they see what they want is being provided to them, they're not going to self sabotage, they're not going to question whether it's too good to be true or not, this is the kind of person who trusts what they are shown, right? But at the same time, I do feel like they're very cognizant of what they trust and who they trust, because yeah, they're just very spiritually awakened. So they don't just see things with their two eyes, they see things with their third eye as well. And I don't know if you can see, is that like a bit of fur, or does that look like a third eye almost? I don't know, to me it does. But maybe it's just a bit of fur. But yeah, I do feel like this is the kind of person who likes to, like, they can see between the lines, and not in like an anxious way, but in a way that they can read energy. They can probably pick up on intentions, they can recognize pure hearts, right? So yeah, they're just generally in their life very mindful. They don't do anything just because other people are doing it, or out of peer pressure, or because of FOMO. This is not the kind of person who gets FOMO. This is a person who is very serious about what they do. They only do things that make them happy, that bring them joy, that bring them alignment to their purpose, right? They do things with intention and purpose and mindfully. And that is how they would like to show up in your relationship, in your marriage. Group number two, they want to be someone who's doing things very intentionally, right? So even when they're bringing you flowers, or they're being romantic, they don't want to do it so that they can just like tick off like check boxes, right? They don't want to do that. They don't want to bring you flowers every Monday because they have to bring you flowers every Monday. They will probably bring you flowers when they genuinely feel like, hey, it's been a while, let me bring my spouse some flowers. Hey, it's been a while, let me plan a vacation. Hey, it's been a while, my spouse deserves a night out, so let me plan that, right? They do things with a lot of intention and mindfully. Okay, they don't do it just so they will come across as this like amazing person or anything of that sort, right? They don't believe in pretenses, they don't believe in being someone that they're not, right? um yeah, like they don't want to create like a calendar event every Monday that reminds them to bring you flowers, right? Like that's not something that they want to do. I just saw Materialists a couple of days ago, and one of the lines was that um I don't know if I want to spoil it for you guys, because it's still relatively a new movie and I know a lot of people haven't watched it yet but would like to. So I won't tell you who said it and in what context they said it, but this, like, one of the men basically said that I want to make a reminder, like a Google reminder, that reminds me every day that I love you. And it sounds romantic, but it's like, hey, if you need Google, like if you need a reminder on your phone to remind you that you love me, then is the love even there? But anyway, yeah, so that's not what this person wants to do. Okay, they don't want to have children just because time is running out and they you need to have children, right? They want to have children because they feel like they will be able to show up as a good parent, right? And if they don't feel that way, then they will rather not have a child, right? Now take that how it resonates. But yeah, what they do very mindfully, okay, in your relationship, and also just generally in their life, I feel. And this is just filtering into your relationship as well, because that's just who they are. So let's find out what kind of spouse they are going to be. So we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Cups, And we have the Five of Wands. Okay. Mm, hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Bottom deck energy is the Three of Cups. Yes, they want to be in a relationship that feels like a celebration, that feels like a celebration of life. They want to be the kind of person who is happy for you when you succeed, who is there to help you when you are not succeeding. They want to be able to hype you up. They want to be able to be your biggest cheerleader. That's the kind of spouse they would like to show up as, even when there's conflict with the Five of Wands, because I do have a feeling, if you're familiar with tarot, this is a card that you are focusing on right now. Because yeah, the Five of Wands signifies, conflict, fights. But look at the artwork in this deck, right? It almost feels like all of these wands are coming together towards one common goal. So I feel like even if this person has conflicts, which, let me be very clear with you, I'm not going to lie to you here on my channel. I don't believe in that. I will give you your reading as I see it. And it is a fact that in every relationship, especially in long term relationships, there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of forgiving each other, there's a lot of understanding each other's point of view, and there's constant choosing to overcome the challenge and the obstacle together as a team, right? And to constantly choose this relationship over this conflict, over this setback, right? And that is the kind of spouse they would like to show up as, so even when there's conflict, they don't want to fight to be right. They want to fight because they're fighting for this relationship to work, right? Their aim is to resolve this conflict because they know you are both on the same team. It's both of you against this problem, right? It's not you versus them or them versus you. They're not trying to win, because there is no winning in a healthy long term relationship, right? It's both of you against the issue, right? So they would much rather, in a conflict, come together, join heads, and be like, hey, let's sit down, figure out what the conflict is about, and let's try to figure out a solution so we can move forward, so we can resolve this conflict instead of fighting it, instead of this conflict getting the better of us, instead of this conflict resulting in us breaking away from each other or breaking apart from each other, right? So, like I said, they're very, very mindful. This is the kind of person who's very like cerebral, they're very in their head. They could be an air sign, is what I'm picking up on. So, like a Libra, an Aquarius, and what else is an air sign? A Gemini, even. Yeah, so either you or them could be this person. There's also a lot of purple and blue in your reading, which is the throat chakra as well. Sorry, I just hit my mic. I hope you heard that. Yeah. So, yeah, which is the throat chakra and the crown chakra, right? So, yeah, there's also a lot of pink now that I'm noticing, right? So, yeah, so that's the heart chakra. So, they want to be someone who shows up using their heart, using their emotions, using their spiritual practices, their spiritual beliefs, their mindfulness, and their logic. They're not super emotional, but they're not super practical either. They're a very balanced person. Yeah. Yeah, that is what they seem like. Okay, so they are someone who's very good at communication. They don't believe in letting things fester. They don't believe in silent treatment. They will give you space, like you can have your space, but then we do have to come back and resolve this conflict. Things don't just like just because there's silence for a long period of time doesn't mean the conflict has been resolved, because a lot of people do that. They just think that if we don't address it, if we don't confront the issue, if we just ignore it and enough time passes, then that is going to be considered an apology, or everything is going to be fine and we won't have to address it, right? Which I think is very counterproductive. It is just going to bite you in the backside much later on. So yeah, that is something that this person doesn't believe in either. They believe in resolving your conflict using your words. Use your words, have communication, communicate well, or at least communicate some way. You either write a letter, or you go to a counselor, a couples therapist or something of that sort, or you just talk to each other. Just try to open up to them, because I do feel like they have the emotional and the spiritual intelligence and capability, and the ability to just understand your point of view, right? They are emotionally mature enough and spiritually mature enough. They are emotionally available enough to be able to hear you out when you have when you have a conflict and you're trying to communicate with them. Yeah, so that is something that I'm seeing here. With the Page of Cups, I also feel like this is the kind of person who's very romantic. Okay, they do wear their heart on their sleeve. So at the end of the day, they do care about you deeply. They want to be there for you emotionally. They want to be there. It almost feels like they want to just sit there and like nod their head while you're yapping. So yeah, they just love it. They love hearing you talk. They love hearing your point of view. That is also something that I'm picking up on. So yeah, this is the kind of person who wants to show up as someone who's very mature, who can deal with things and not let them slide. They bring a lot of maturity to the relationship. And a lot of wisdom to the relationship as well, a lot of spirituality and maturity to this relationship as well, a lot of emotional availability, right? That is what they bring to this relationship, and that's how they want to show up as a spouse, as someone who's very mature and understanding and caring and romantic and loving, and someone who actually cares about the relationship enough to put in effort and energy into it, right? um yeah, this is, like I said, this is not the kind of person who wants to marry just so that they can check off a box, like, oh, okay, I'm married, tada, done. No, they want to get married and then they want to stay married. And that requires effort, which they want to put. And that's the kind of spouse they want to be. They want to be the kind of spouse who puts in the work, who shows up. Yeah. So that is the message that I'm getting for you guys, group number two. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Claim it as well if you would like to. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, group three. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose this whimsy card right here. So let's find out what kind of spouse your future spouse would like to be. Now, something with whimsy that I'm picking up on is that your future spouse is someone who's very romantic. They have very romantic ideas of what married life is going to be. So I do feel like, the kind of person that they want to show up as is someone who's very romantic, someone who makes all of your dreams come true, someone who kind of pampers you and like shows you a lot of love, like, does a lot of grand gestures. So for example, like your first birthday as a married couple, I think they're going to make a very big deal about it. They're going to fill your room with balloons, and they're going to bring you breakfast in bed. Like that kind of situation is what I'm picking up on. Like I feel like on your 30th birthday they would want to bring you 30 gifts, like that kind of energy is what they bring, so this is the kind of person who wants to show up as like your Prince Charming, as your hero, as your, this romantic partner, right? So that is how they would like to show up in your relationship and your life, right? Let's get some tarot cards to get some more information about what kind of spouse your future spouse would want to be. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Star. Ooh, okay. Bottom deck energy is the Seven of Pentacles. I think they've waited a very long time to be married, either to be married in general or to be married to you. They've just waited for a very long time. Like they've been wanting to get married for a very long time, but for some reason maybe it wasn't happening, and now that they are married, they're like, "Oh my god, I am going to do all of the things that I have wanted to do forever." This could also be the kind of person who probably hasn't been in a relationship before in their life. So, all the things that they feel like they've missed out on, like, things that other couples used to do or their friends used to do with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, they weren't able to do. So now that they have a spouse, they're like, we're gonna do everything, right? So, yeah, I feel like this is the kind of person who wants to, like, dance in the rain. They want to, look at the stars together. They want to do all of the romantic things where they want to go to like a movie theater and maybe, like, share a bucket of popcorn or something. Yeah, like, yeah, this is a very affectionate, loving, romantic person. Yeah, I feel like the honeymoon stage in your marriage is going to last a very long time, because this person has a lot of fantasies of what they would like to do, when they're in a relationship, and not just like relating to like intimate things. I mean, maybe yes, that as well, but like even in general, I think they have a lot of fantasies about it, right? Like your first Valentine's Day together, and they're gonna make you handmade cards or give you like handmade gifts. So they're gonna come home from office one day and they're gonna bring you like chocolates and flowers and stuff like that. Yeah, so like cute stuff is what they would want to do, and that's how they want to show up in this relationship. Maybe something that they are like very, I don't know if afraid is the word, but maybe something that they would like to avoid in their life is just this feeling of stagnation, this feeling of boredom, this feeling of monotony. They don't want to be a boring married couple who just, like, loses the spark within like the first 2 years of their married life. They don't want to be that kind of a couple. They want to keep the spark alive forever, basically. Yeah, so they're going to keep doing these little things that are very romantic, that will keep the spark alive, right? This is the kind of person who wants to show up as someone who's very stable, very secure, so it's not just that they want to buy your affection through love and like through gifts or like material things. They genuinely want to do things so that you feel safe and celebrated and secure and just loved and appreciated. That is how they want to do. They want to give you a very happy married life. They want to give you a happy home. They want to give you a happy life. They want to give you happiness. you know the Four of Wands always remind me of like 1111. So it's almost like they want all of your 1111 wishes to come true, because I feel like you are their 1111 wish come true. So, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure you are feeling safe and secure and comfortable and happy and celebrated and seen and loved and cherished. um that is something that I'm picking up on here. This person also probably puts you on a bit of a pedestal. This is someone who probably thinks that you are the star of their life. So, you are like, obviously, even maybe, like, I don't know if you're like their only priority, but you definitely are one of their top priorities in life. Um, I feel like this person, I don't know why I'm getting this message, but I feel like this person would fight with their loved ones for you. So like if they have to choose between you and a loved one, they will choose you. And it does feel a bit love bomby, this energy, but it's not. It's just that they have a lot of love to give, and they probably weren't able to do that in the past, or maybe when they did, it just didn't go down well for them because it wasn't appreciated and it left them hurt. But they see that you are appreciating it and you are enjoying it, and it's making you very happy, and maybe because of that they see that you are also opening up to them and loving them the way that they wished they could have been loved, and maybe in a way that they haven't experienced before, which is why they are also encouraged to do more of it, you know. This could also mean that they have very like fiery energy. Like, this is a person who cannot sit still, you know. They're a very go 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 kind of a person. This person could be a fire sign, so a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. There's also Aquarius energy here, so yeah, that those could be their sign. But you know, they could be just someone who's like full of energy. They're just brimming with energy. You know, these like high energy people who cannot sit still, who are very open and vocal about how they feel and who they are and their feelings and their emotions. They cannot play it small, they cannot hide it. They're not the kind of person who's very like prim and proper, where they're very polite, they'll sit down, like they're a very loud and proud kind of a person. And the way that they love is also like that. It reflects how loud and proud they are of you and of this connection. And that's how they want to show up in this connection as well. You know, they want to give you the validation that you deserve. They don't ever want you to question whether they love you or not. They just want you to know, like, of course my spouse loves me. Like, look at all of these things that they do for me, and you know, look at the way that they treat me, look at their energy when they are with me, you know. So this is the kind of person who like flirt with you, or like, you know, if you post something on social media, they'll probably like message, like they'll comment saying, oh my god, like beautiful or stunning or gorgeous or stuff like that, you know, like, oh my god, I'm such a lucky man, like I'm such a lucky woman to have you in my life and stuff like that. Like, you know, they'll hype you up, like, oh my god, look at her, look at my wife, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like, you know, that's the kind of energy that's coming through. um yeah. um yeah, so like grand gestures, loud and proud, things that like make you giggle like a little girl. Like, it's funny, but it's also like, oh my god, it's such a public display of affection. It's such a you know, like they could scream from the rooftops if they could about how much they love you, you know, and that is how they want to show up in this relationship. So yeah, that is the energy that I have for you guys coming through. Group number three. um I feel like this is also someone who's very adventurous. So I feel like this person would like to be very adventurous with you as well. Like, they would make a lot of impromptu plans, right? Like, they would give you surprises, and like they would say, okay, get ready quickly, we're gonna go out for dinner, or like, okay, get ready, tomorrow we're going on a 3-day long vacation, you know. Like, yeah, like spontaneity is something that they would want to bring into this connection, because yeah, like I said, they don't want the spark to die out, you know. They don't want to ever not fill your cup, right? So yeah, they just want you to feel loved and appreciated, and they want to feel make you feel very validated, and they want that validation to be very loud, so that it's very clear, not just to you but also to the world, that this person loves you. Yeah. So that is the energy that I'm picking up on here, group number three, and that is the reading that I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me a nice comment telling me whether this resonated or not. Claim this in the comments below as well if you'd like to. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.